These days we have a lot of choice when it comes to image making. There are so many different ways that we can create images. We can use physical tools, pastel, paint, ink, and there is a wealth of materials to choose from. In fact, if you go into any big art store, there are shelves and shelves of materials, and there are new products coming onto the market all the time. So it's a little bit overwhelming to choose what materials and what they all do, and learning and getting to grips with all these materials is quite a big job. But not only that, we also have digital tools these days, and understanding what they are and what they can do and whether you should be using them and the benefits of using them is all very confusing. And so in this video, I am going to just go through the way that I use both traditional art materials and digital tools in my own artwork, and I hope to help those of you that are confused and just want to know a little bit more about this topic. So let's get into the video to take you through the process of talking about this artwork that I created from the beginning to the end. But I don't have some of the footage of the complete beginning, so I'll just have to explain. But it started in my sketchbook as a brush drawing, and this was a brief from I think an art class that I went to, and they said that we had to do some brush drawings in one colour, which was blue, and that we had 5 minutes. So I was brush drawing some foliage in blue watercolour to start with. And then from that I decided to add some more colours, did some more watercolour, let it dry, and then I worked into it with pastels and colour pencils. So at this stage I didn't really know what it was going to be. I didn't really have a plan for this at all. I just quite liked the colours and the shapes and was just enjoying using these materials, and decided to develop the art a little bit more with the colouring pencils and blocking the background. And then I got to the point where I thought this could make a really nice background for something, but I didn't know what. So I scanned it into my computer and put it into Photoshop. I then looked at it and thought that it would be nice with some collage on top, because I like collage. And for this I created the collage flowers physically. So I painted the papers, and I used paint to paint the papers and added some details with pen and cut out some flower shapes. And then after that I put these collage flowers into Photoshop and I cut out the background, changed the colours, changed the sizing, things like that. I can do all of that in Photoshop. And like I said, I'll have to do another video on explaining exactly how I do this. And then once I have manipulated these elements, I put each one on a different layer in Photoshop. And now it was time to merge the flowers into the main artwork, which I have in Photoshop. So I just spend a lot of time moving things around and working on compositions and colours, changing colours if I need to, changing sizes until I'm happy. And then once I have something I'm reasonably happy with, I may add other things. So in this case I decided that I wanted a creature camouflaged slightly in the undergrowth. So my original idea was a tiger, but for some reason it's turned into a black cat. So I drew a cat. I always like to draw things if I can myself rather than trace things from images. So I drew a cat, and then I put a background behind it, which was, I think, one of my textured papers, and just messed around with it a bit. It didn't have to be perfect because the cat is very much in the background, so I just wanted an indication of an animal prowling through the undergrowth. And then I put everything together and my artwork was complete. I hope that's given you an insight into how I create my work by both using physical art materials, working in my sketchbook, and then working in Photoshop and composing things, working with different elements and putting together the final artwork. And if you are interested in this area of art, digitising and working with digital collage, then please do comment below and I shall plan some more videos around using Photoshop for digital collage.